understanding it at the time, Frazier had now entered.
Boys! Today, I have 12 Faudian games you have never heard of. Each Faudian game on this list was emailed to me by a developer. They wanted me to play it because I'm the Faudian game guy. So play it, I will. But I probably won't end up beating it because I think a lot of these games might be a little bit not polished or a little bit too difficult for me. So we're going to play it until I might beat it or I rage quit the game. Then we'll rate it, move on to the next. Does that make sense? Great. Now, I have to let you guys know, these games are not very well known. I pretty much hear about every popular Faudian game. But there is one, it's probably the most popular on this list, and it came out this week. The game's known as Egging On.
An egg outside the hen house. That's unusual. Wait, it's moving.
Oh, look at that.
Hey, egg, can you hear me?
Who's talking?
Jump if you can hear me. Everything here seems different, but it's hard to explain. If you climb to the rooftop, you'll get the idea. Wait, some of your jumps seem to launch you higher.
Oh yeah, you jump higher on the tip.
You jump higher when you hop from your tip. Am I right?
Oh, well, yeah, that's what I was saying, yeah.
By tip, I mean the pointy end. Like the head of the egg.
Ooh, fuck.
Ooh, that was ugly. You'll do better next time.
Fuck. I hate a Faudian game that is literally designed to make you fall, and then they hit you with the ooh. Oh, did you fall, little guy? Oh, did you make a little boo-boo?
Oh, are you okay? Your shell just cracked. I
did
can
you
see
fuck your fucky wuckies?
insides?
Yeah! Oh God, landing is horrible. Oh God, my gosh, it's stressful.
Look, Egg, I know it's not easy heading into the unknown. It would be much simpler if you were just laying still like a regular egg. The hens wouldn't treat you like an outcast. But then,
Such a fucking annoying
you would
fucking
never make it to
mechanic,
the roof.
bro. Oh! I wish there was like a pause mechanic. Like I could just stop, but I can't stop. Honestly, it's really polished. The game's beautiful. But man, does it just make me really hate the shape of eggs?
Oh no.
What
Egg,
is even
please tell me you can
that?
still regenerate.
What do you mean?
Egg, are you there?
In what universe?
It's about time. I was starting to panic.
It hit the edge? Go on a trampoline tomorrow. That does not happen. Do not defend those physics. That was not real physics. Brother, oh my God, it just wouldn't happen like that. It just genuinely wouldn't. You would just conserve your momentum. You just would. You just factually would. I might be done. I might be done.
Was that unpleasant? Even though this kind of fall hurts, both physically and emotionally, I know you'll keep going. Because you have a purpose. You'll reach the rooftop and more.
Brother, you can guarantee that I will play this game for an hour and 59 minutes because I am not missing the refund window, you motherfucker. $12.75. Don't be guilt tripping me into fucking playing more of this shit.
Oof. Ah, so close.
I'm cringing. I am cringing. That is literally what Saikuno will say to me in voice comms when I miss a fucking shot in Valorant. I don't love you like I love him. You can't fucking talk to me like this. Oof. Nice try. It looks like you shit yourself again all over everywhere and everyone sees it. Let's wash that up and maybe try again. Fuck.
You've been reborn from the ashes, like a phoenix.
Fuck you! Sorry. if I'm coming clean, I don't give a shit about the eggs, man. Costco sells 100 million rotisserie chickens a year at $5 a piece. I don't want them to stop. If I'm being honest, that is at its core exactly what a Fadian game should be. Beautiful visuals, a unique mechanic, frustrating. Now I'll say, I think what makes a Fadian game S tier is when it's fun to learn the mechanic. Getting over it, you can get a level of mastery with the pickaxe. That's fun. Pogo stuck. You know, you get that spin boost. You learn how to do it crazy. Even difficult game about climbing, right? You know, you learn how to like move like nobody can move. I think you're a little bit limited in this one. Obviously, I didn't dive in too deep. I think it's A tier. It's a very polished Fadian game, but I wasn't sitting there going, man, I would love to play this more. So obviously that's a much more polished Fadian game than some of the other ones we're going to be trying today. Some of these games, in fact, this next one, nobody can tell you what it's like because nobody has ever reviewed the game. This next Fadian game is called Astro Drop. All right, we have definitely entered a game with just, you know, you can instantly tell there's a different world of polish. All right. Okay, so you play this Astro character and you have to drop. Oh, wow. You have to drop down, but if you hit anything for too long, you die. It's kind of frustrating because you enter a frame without being able to see like you every single slide is blind. You basically coin flip every single fall. I wish I could peek. Is there no way to peek? It actually is crazy you can't look. Because Jump King has this issue too, right? Jump King is individual screens, but what the advantages of Jump King is that you can jump straight up like this, look at it. You can even pause it. You can't pause in this game. So you can look, pause, then be like, okay, I'm going to make an attempt here. Okay, I'm not going to lie. This is a worse game than Egging It On. Like, I can guarantee that. I think it's still slightly better than a game like Silksong, but barely. I can't play this longer than an hour because then the Egging It On dev would rightfully fucking shoot themselves in the skull. If I play this longer than Egging It On, like, bro, I would be mad on the dev's behalf. And that's level 1 complete. Okay, so I didn't go through this earlier. We should do this real quick, just to have it. Let's go through what our tiers mean, right? So an S tier game this is a great Fadian game. It's up there with the classics, the Getting Over It's, the Jump Kings, and it firmly, you know, is fun.
I found the original owner of this old Pokemon game 17 years after they played it. Well, I think I did. I'm not 100% convinced yet, but it's my dream to return someone's lost game that I found years later. So if I want to reunite this long lost copy of Diamond with its true owner, there's only one way to confirm this is the right guy. Okay, wait. How on earth did we even get here? Why do I even have this? And how do you find someone who played this nearly 2 decades ago? There's no dog tag on the box. There's no voice chat for the DS. There's no air tag in here tracking me. You know, I don't know if I ever actually checked that. Okay, we need to start at the beginning. In 2022, my YouTube channel was finally getting some views. After over 10 years of pumping out absolute garbage on here, I had a hit video that even made it onto Kotaku. Filled with dopamine from watching numbers go up on my dashboard, I thought endlessly about what my next banger could be. I saved up all the money my videos had made and pulled the trigger on an expensive idea I was holding on to for a while. Hello. I went to my local GameStop to buy all their old Pokemon games so I could see what was hiding on them. You see, Nintendo handheld games keep their save files on the physical cartridges themselves. The DS and Game Boy didn't have a memory card or anything like that, so everything you did in the game would stick on the cart. It's like this on the 3DS too. Even though there's an SD card, it doesn't put saves on there, which means that if you put the game in another console, the save file would would be the exact same, and you could see everything the last player did. Their name, their Pokemon, what year they played, their friends, their secret base. Hell, some of them even tell you what state they were in. And if you sold that cartridge to GameStop, some goober could buy it years later and make fun of what you named your character in 2008.
A Turtwig with the OT cock.
But the game we're talking about today wasn't a simple GameStop pickup. It was much stranger than that. I wasn't the first person to make videos exploring save files, but damn did mine pop off. So of course, I bought more and more and more. Different generations, different ages, different languages, different levels of authenticity. I checked eBay almost every day looking for the next viral used Pokemon game. When one day I saw this. At first it looks like an average copy of Pokemon Diamond. It even comes with the box and all the original manuals, which is rare. But there was something fishy. The price was way lower than it should have been. I mean, I'm not a stickler for overpriced plastic. You can see that from my past videos, but even I could tell something was up here. And that's when I saw it. The game had fucking holes in it. This got a good laugh out of me. $60 for a piece of garbage and a box. I think I'll pass. But one of the listing photos had the game actually running on a DS. It worked, allegedly. I honestly believed it was a scam. There was no way it was gonna play, but all I was thinking at the time was, what if it did? I figured this is a banger video if it turns on, and if it doesn't, we can just all laugh at how dumb I am. What the fuck, brother? And when I finally got to test it out, it didn't work. Of course it didn't. Besides the literal holes in the cartridge, the rails on the bottom where you actually put it in the console were decimated. It probably wasn't even a good idea to put it into my DS with it bent like this. But I tried a bunch of times doing the classic method of blowing on the cartridge, wiping it off, but no luck. What else can you do? I was ready to give up and end the stream, but one user, who now that I think about it, I kind of owe this entire story to, said this message in chat. It'll work, try again. One more for the boys. No way! No way! No way! Wait, no way! No way! Oh my god! Oh my god! No way! It's fucking working! Literally no way! I have no idea who this person is, and I haven't seen them since this stream. They could be a deity or a leprechaun, but whatever magic they cast, let me play this game and meet Marcus, the original owner of this Pokemon Diamond from 2008. Their save file was insane. 300 hours played, all gyms completed, tons of rare Pokemon caught, and even an authentic full odd shiny just chilling in their PC. Legitimate cinema. That not only did it work, I think it might be the best save file we looked at today. After this, months went by. I uploaded some videos about Marcus that did pretty well and moved on to the next piece of content. The story of this game actually working was awesome, but I thought that was the final chapter until I got what I can only describe as a life-changing email.
Hi, this is Marcus. I saw the short from the other day on the damaged copy of Pokemon Diamond, and when I was watching it, I realized that it was my original copy of Diamond from when I was a kid.
Okay, now pump the brakes. Not to rain on his parade, but I've gotten hundreds of messages just like this. 95% of them are bullshit. They just leave one sentence and it doesn't even make sense a lot of the time. Some of them are just flat out wrong. Like this guy here said the egg I was showing off was from his friend Riley, when in reality, Riley is the name of one of the NPCs in Sinnoh. Nice try, bud. Another 4% of these comments seem genuine. They send me a long lore dump about why they think it's theirs. So I try to quiz them on things about the save, stuff that's not obvious or that I haven't already shown in a video. What was your rival's name? Did you nickname any of your Pokemon? Did you complete the post game? Did you trade with friends? Where did you sell it to? After talking with a few people in this 4%, the conclusion is always that they're wrong. They might have honestly believed the game was theirs, but the details just didn't line up. And then there's the 1%. Marcus, someone who had a believable story that I needed to investigate. Or at the very least, I wanted to hear him out because the next part of his message was heartbreaking.
I had to sell all of my Pokemon games when my wife had a car wreck and had no idea where any of them ended up at. I've been trying to piece my collection back together and was wondering if you still have that copy of the game, case and all. If you decide to get rid of it, I'd like to try and get it back. The game has so much sentimental value to me, even in its damaged state. Thank you for taking the time to read this, and if you get a chance to reply, I'd greatly appreciate it.
So, needless to say, I haven't gotten a story like that before. It sounded too crazy to be real, but after some basic research, for privacy reasons, I'm not going to share with you guys, but I was actually able to confirm his story myself. So if nothing else, his situation was completely real. I replied to Marcus and told him I would love to give him the game back, but he needs to prove it's really his. I started my interrogation. The first thing he told me was what he believed was his Hall of Fame team. This seemed like a safe thing to start with. I mean, Sinnoh is endlessly memed for its lack of variety in playthrough teams. I would be willing to bet there are thousands of people that beat Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum with this exact team. The problem was, he was completely wrong. I had pretty much wrote Marcus off at this point as being misled, but I was willing to let him continue just because of how crazy his story was. He tried giving me some other information, like his starter was Infernape, who he trained to level 100. He said he never nicknamed any of his Pokemon, and that they should all only have attacking moves because he liked to brute force every fight. I was able to confirm all of these things in the save, but once again, there are literally thousands of people who could say this. I needed something specific, something only he would know. So I asked the question that sealed his fate. Do you remember any cool or rare Pokemon that you had? If you guys want to see some of Marcus's coolest Pokemon in more detail, I'm going to put them up over here. And in the meantime, I want to tell you about a little problem. So I'm a big wrestling fan and I want to watch the weekly show that goes live Friday night. Sit on the couch, pop open Netflix and womp womp. You can't actually watch that in your country, bucko. So instead of booking a flight to Mexico while you're surfing back guarantee, so .com/getback Garatina, both of which are in .com/Purple Thunder, and make it happen. Thanks again to NordVPN for sponsoring this video. Now let's get back to finding Marcus. The first part of Marcus's answer was solid. He said he caught a Heatran and Garatina, both of which are in these boxes. This was a little less cookie cutter than some of the other stuff he told me. Catching these guys takes some extra effort, especially as a kid. But I was looking for something more, some real evidence, and he followed it up with this.
I didn't have anything that cool though. I never got to get any of the rare event Pokemon.
Back in the day, Pokemon used to run events where you could go to places like GameStop with your physical cartridge and they could give you a special Pokemon for free. A lot of the times you couldn't get these anywhere else. Mythicals, shiny legendaries, even Pokemon from the movies. If you did any of these as a kid, the experience was so memorable. I still have a few myself that I've kept until this day. So that's why I knew that this save file wasn't his. Because the very first thing in any of these boxes was this Celebi. It's from a 15-year-old GameStop distribution where they were promoting the upcoming games Black and White. Some stores even had a demo for you to try these new titles. They gave you the Celebi, and when you moved it to Gen 5, there was a special moment you got in-game referencing the recent Unova movie. Something like this would have to stick out from your childhood, and since Marcus denied knowing about it even without me saying anything, I had to break it to him that this game couldn't be his. Every other time I've had this back and forth with someone who thought I had one of their games, and we got to this point, it was the end of the conversation. They would say, oh, my bad, have a good day, man, and we moved on. But not Marcus. I could feel the urgency, the desperation in his following messages.
Wait, I didn't know about the Celebi still being on there. If it's the 2011 one, I went to the store with every copy of Pokemon I had to get it. Is there anything else that I can do? I just know that's mine. I recognize the damage anywhere.
So I was feeling stuck. Marcus seemed hell-bent on proving this game was his, but already messed up two major details on it. I wanted to keep hearing him out, but I didn't want to waste my time on a troll. I waited a while to answer him to give myself some time to think. I mean, to be honest, if someone asked me about my original save from 20 years ago, could I get everything right? I mean, I completely forgot about the Pokemon stored on my Ultra Sun, and that's 10 years younger than Marcus's save. And he was adamant that he also played other Gen 4 games at the time, so he could be mixing them up in his head. If this really was his game and he was just shaking on some memories, it would be a shame to kill the story now. So I cut him some slack, but I didn't want to give it to him for free. He needed to work for it. I messaged Marcus back the next day with even more questions. I asked him if he ever used it to trade or battle other people, and he told me no. I checked the trainer card and the underground stats, and both of these showed this game never connected with the other Gen 4 titles, so that checks out. Another small win. A big part of this save is how many Pokemon are from Gen 3. A lot of Diamond and Pearl saves I have are like this, because the DS had a bottom slot on here where you can put Game Boy games to send your Pokemon on a one-way trip to Sinnoh. And the game can actually tell you where these Pokemon came from, but it doesn't tell you what version specifically. But with a save file editor, you can see in way more detail. It's basically a tool that lets you pick apart the data in a save, including where the Pokemon came from. So I asked Marcus what GBA games he played as a kid to see if it lined up with what I could see in the editor. And He was 100% correct. Out of all of the Pokemon from Gen 3 in this save, Emerald and Fire Red were the only two games they originated from. That's not the most convincing piece of evidence of all time, but that'd be pretty hard to guess. We were actually getting somewhere. The next thing I asked him though is what actually pushed me over the edge and made me start to believe it. And it's all because of a feature in these games that I don't think anyone else has ever used. The bottom screen in these games is dedicated to the Pokétch. It's a watch with a bunch of different cool apps you can swap through. There's a map, calculator, step counter, radar for invisible items, all kinds of stuff. But one of the most useless ones is this. A list of like the 12 most recent Pokemon you caught. I can't think of a single use case where this is helpful until today. When I played this originally, I noticed there was a pretty crazy Pokemon on here. Jirachi. One of those special guys you usually can't get unless it's in an event. But I couldn't actually find it anywhere in the game. It's not in the party, not in the boxes, not in the daycare. But because we already confirmed he never traded with anyone, it must have been transferred out to Gen 5 and beyond. Which had me wondering, why didn't Marcus move out everything in here? He had plenty of awesome Pokemon from his old games that deserve to be moved out just as much as Jirachi. And that's how I finally heard the story about these damn holes in the cartridge.
I was in the process of moving my Pokemon over when my little Shih Tzu dog I had at the time named Scrappy got a hold of the game and I couldn't get it working anymore. I thought they were just all lost and I'd kept the game for memories at that point.
So when Marcus was moving this Jirachi and who knows what else onto the hot new black and white games in 2011, his dog ended those dreams pretty quickly. And I can relate to this because something similar happened to me. This is my original DS that I would use as an alarm clock for school in the morning and usually leave it on the ground. One day I came home and found my golden retriever gnawing the shit out of it. It gave 9-year-old me a panic attack, but Nintendo ingenuity keeps this thing ticking. All these years later. Marcus's story about the game not working anymore after his dog chewed it in 2011 actually lines up perfectly with the save though. The Pokétch shows the event Celebi is one of the last Pokemon ever obtained in it before Marcus thought he had to give up on the cartridge for good. And the random empty spaces in the boxes look like someone who was slowly moving everything out through Gen 5's painful transfer process. Almost like the Poke Rapture started, but it ended a little too early. But this still leaves one major question for me that needs an explanation before I could fully believe him. How the fuck do you sell a Pokemon game that looks like this? Especially if he thought it didn't even work anymore. His answer actually made a lot of sense. He said when he pawned his whole collection, it was all in bulk and he just included the diamond version with the case as a part of the sale. The buyer probably had no idea it was a potential dud. So Marcus essentially got a few extra bucks out of his collection by passing on a game he believed would never work again. To see if I could get some of the bigger picture, I actually tried to contact the person I bought the game from on eBay to see where they got it. But in the few months since I made the purchase, they deleted their account. Straight up, they had this page since 2018, made plenty of sales, and then deleted it after they sold me the game. Was it a scam after all? And I was their final heist before closing up shop and vanishing? And they faked this picture thinking the game really didn't work? Does that mean when I used it on stream, that was the first time it's been on since 2011? But at this point, I felt like there was nothing else I could ask Marcus. This guy was shaky on some major sections of the save file and needed me to jog his memory to get an explanation. But looking at all the evidence he gave me, there was a solid case this really was his game. But I felt like sending these messages back and forth was only getting me some of the story. So I asked him my final question. Are you down to meet in person? Marcus seemed hesitant at first, but said the idea of getting one of his old games back was too hard to pass up. He told me he lived in Phil Campbell, a small town in eastern Alabama. The issue was that I live thousands of miles away. So I did something pretty wacky. When I told my friends and family what my plans were for this trip, they thought I was insane. You know, stranger danger and all that. And to be honest, I was anxious myself. I've never done a Discord group chat IRL meetup, but this story was too wild not to give it a chance. Before even meeting Marcus though, we had a major issue. The last time I had tried to use this game was during my stream. I instantly backed it up to my computer knowing that there was a very slim chance this ever worked again. But the day before I flew out, I figured I should probably test it again. And it wasn't working. Luckily, since I had the save backed up, I could just put it on another copy of Pokemon Diamond, and that was my plan for reviewing the save with Marcus in person. But I didn't like the idea of having to tell him that after all this time and all that we've done, his game is never gonna work again. So, with 2 Diamond copies in hand, we headed to Alabama. I flew to Atlanta where I met some great friends of mine, and we drove 2.5 hours to meet Marcus in the middle, a random mall on neutral ground. Everyone here was actually in the original GameStop video I did 3 years ago, so it was a bit of a full circle moment. We showed up pretty early, so I scouted for a good place to sit down and explored a mall for the first time in forever.
And a veneer.
Yeah. Big finds here. Treasure. Editor, put how much that was.
Our meet time was 4:30 p.m., so we made camp in the food court and waited. And waited. And waited. 4:30 came and went quickly, and no one was around. I had been texting Marcus for months at this point to plan this out, but the day of our trip, he was completely silent. I kind of realized we might have a problem. I don't even know what he looks like, what he sounds like, who he's bringing with him. I called him for the first time from the mall to see if maybe he just got held up, and no answer. Panic started to set in. Was none of this real? Was Marcus trolling the whole time? What dumbass travels 12 hours to meet a guy they don't know to talk about a 20-year-old Pokemon game? 5 p.m. hit and still nothing. We started making a plan for what to do in case Marcus got held up in traffic. Or worse, he wasn't coming at all. But then I saw something on my phone. The time. It was actually 4 p.m. right now?
All right, so we're at the mall that we agreed to, me and Marcus. Got some food, figured, maybe he's still driving. It's a long drive for him. Start looking around and I'm like, maybe he stood me up. Maybe I was stupid to fly, all this way. And then we realized that the time zones changed again because they went forward when I flew here and then they changed backwards when we drove like 3 hours here. So we just got here an hour early and we're still waiting for Marcus.
So yeah, I'm a dumbass for multiple reasons, but overall a dumbass. We roamed the mall a little more while we waited, and it honestly was kind of a reflection of what was going on with this game. Most of the stores were closed or turned into Funko Pop merchants. Half the movies being shown were sequels to films that came out 20 years ago. The arcade was dirty and vacant. Places like this are dying out, but they were awesome when I was a kid. I think we all wish we could go back to our own good times that are long gone, whatever year that is for you. And that kind of perfectly tells the story of this diamond version. So when the real 4:30 came around, all of us scanned the food court for a millennial Pokemon fan who was a little camera shy. Someone finally emerged from the crowd, and I met Marcus.
Brother, what's going on? You guys want to take a little seat? So we came from Nebraska, which is Central Time. Then we flew to them in Georgia, so that changes an hour. Then we drove back this way 2 hours and then changed again, and I thought my phone was just messed up.
When I saw the message on there, I'm like, wait a minute, Georgia, they lost, or they time, and I'm like, oh, that's so confusing.
We do, if you will please, have it with us here. So go ahead, take a little look-see at that. I just want to see what your reaction is now.
Still has everything that I remember being in there, and I was definitely my dog's two parts. I was going through doing all my transfers from Fire Red, Emerald, everything, and I took this one out because I think I was doing my Platinum. I had one of those hard cases that you could hold like 24 games in it at the time, so I just sat on top of that not thinking. I got up to get a drink, come back, game was in the floor, and my puppy, my little Setsu, had it, and I thought the game was ruined.
You were not the person I bought it from on eBay. It was like one of those accounts where it's like, all they do is just resell games. How did it get from you to someone to that person then to me?
My wife, that we had been married about a year at the time, she had a real bad car wreck that completely totaled the car. She was out of work. My work actually fired me for leaving early to go to the hospital to check on her because I worked at a factory at the time, and you're replaceable at that kind of place. My Pokemon games were about $1,800 worth of games. I ended up pawning them with every intention to get them all back to help cover bills till we got back on our feet. I don't know where he went from his store. I'm thinking he sold them probably to old game stores. They went who knows where.
How many games are we talking here that are out there?
It was almost a complete collection, so it's a lot of games.
Did you start looking for any of your other games, or you just want to see what happened with this?
I'm trying to get all of those games back. I've been trying to find them. It's just I haven't had a whole lot of luck. So
Is that like your first time like reaching out to somebody like something like this?
You know, how you get on YouTube sometimes you just dead scroll through shorts, not really thinking about it. I see Pokemon game has holes in it. I'm like, wait a minute, I recognize that. Unless somebody erased the profile, I'm almost certain that's mine. Told my friend, well, I'm gonna try this and see if I get a response. I don't know if I will or not.
Yeah.
It's worth a shot.
We're gonna go through this one today, and I'm just gonna kind of bring some stuff up, show it to the camera, and go down a little memory lane action here. You started this game June 30th, 2008, 17 years ago. So we have a level 100 Blaziken.
Oh, that's still on.
This is just your OG starter and moved him up.
OG Blazing, and I was 13 when I first played this.
That was definitely the level up your starter.
Yeah.
Went through everything.
I remember using him so much, and I wanted him to be my Mega Blaziken so bad.
Oh yeah. There was just tons of just random Gen 3 mons. Not to knock them, but there's nothing crazy about them in here.
I mean, in Gen 3, you're talking about that was when I was probably 6, 7. You see, oh, that does have Pokeball by. I need to catch that. I transferred my entire box and everything from Emerald into the game because I have intentions of starting Emerald over.
So that you're saying there's a world where like I could have got one of your other games that just didn't have any of this on it.
It is possible. The Emerald, it would have said I had probably 200 hours on it and there wouldn't have been a single thing on there. I think I left like a level 1 wheel. Because you had to have something in your party. Makes you feel bad for that one, but
So you have a ton of fossil Pokemon.
you've got a lot of time in the Underearth.
Just walking around doing whatever. Okay.
Well, in Diamond, since you didn't have a Battle Frontier and all that, it was one of the things you could really do in the in-game just to how to kill time.
The scorecard for the Underground: 751 spheres dug, 41 fossils dug, 0 people met. So
Yeah, that sounds about right for my Underground. I didn't start playing like any of the actual like trading or anything with anybody till Wonder Trade.
it looks like you were squeaky clean, no hacking. Like you don't have a bunch of Master Balls. Did you ever get into hacking your game, like Action Replay?
I had an Action Replay at one time, but I didn't really use it for Pokemon games.
Okay. What other games were you into as a kid?
I was a big Yu-Gi-Oh person, so I used it on there a lot of times just to get the extra life points for those NPC fights that I didn't want to really deal with, trying to have to repeat over and over. So I had that. I had like the little DS versions of Lego Star Wars, stuff like that.
This is kind of what got me really excited about this save. I've seen plenty of hacked save files. It's so easy to hack your save. So usually when I see legendaries that shouldn't be there, I don't think twice about it. This one, however, is a real event Celebi, and I can say with certainty Gen 4 stores the mystery gift, like cards you get when you go get a gift. You know, when you buy expensive art and it's like, this is proof that, you know, you really bought it. It's March of 2011, you officially received this Celebi.
I do remember that because that was back before they had the codes. That's where you had to go and actually get the distribution.
You had to go to
Yeah,
GameStop.
I remember that because that was when we still had a GameStop in the mall where I live. Now that I remember that now. I honestly completely forgot how I got some of those because most of the ones I remember I having was the newer shiny, like the shiny Giratina, shiny vegetables. I remember those. I completely forgot that I got that self.
And then the other big ticket item here, Shiny Clefairy. Once again, I checked it out to the best of my ability. It looks 100% real, caught Mount Coronet, and it looks like you were, you know, looking around just playing the game, found a shiny, stuffed it in the box. Do you happen to remember anything like that?
I mean, I don't think I really knew the ins and outs of shiny hunting to realize what I had.
Yeah.
And I found out years later when I started hunting, I'm like, when you mentioned that, I'm like, oh, that is on that one. I thought it was on my platinum. My platinum, I probably had just as many hours, if not more, on platinum because there was more to do over there. When you stop playing it for so long, you kind of forget about it until you see it like physically in front of your face.
Yeah.
So in the suffering person can bring back real memories.
I learned a lot about Marcus in the hours we chatted. His crushing story paired with a quest to get these old Pokemon games back was incredible. And watching him light up over the smallest things in the save was a good feeling. I'm not gonna act like every detail was solid as a rock, but from everything we could cover, Marcus made me a believer.
All right, well, I think for my personal, you know, like just where I'm at, I think you have convinced me. I mean, of the information we have, with what we can do with whatever you were doing 17 years ago, I feel like there's a very good shot. This is yours.
Unfortunately, what came next was the hard part. Even though I wanted to tell Marcus that he was going to have his game back and be reunited after 17 years, it just wasn't working anymore. But I figured that after all the miracles we've seen so far, I might as well let him give it one more go.
So I think the only test I have left, the last time I put this in my DS, it did not work. So I would only think that the master's hands, I've cleaned it, I've done the cart. Oh my god.
It actually still loads.
There's no way. First try? I really thought it was a goner. I'm like not even exaggerating. I cleaned it. I did the Q-tip method. I blow on the cartridge. Every trick in the book. Nothing.
Yep, that's the original. I remember the move set.
That is so crazy. Oh man. I think this is going to be a banger. I appreciate everything that you've done for us today. So, that's all yours, brother. You take it, you walk away with it, and I salute you on your journey to retrieve the save file Dragon Balls. Marcus, any final words? Anything you want to say to the people out there who maybe are in a spot like you?
Just this whole thing, you never know what can happen. You might be like me and get rid of, have to have hard times, lose your collection, stuff like that, or have to sell it to make back. Who knows? It might. Things have a funny way of coming full circle sometimes, and this was a very fun one for me because I didn't think it would ever happen.
From Purple Thunder and Marcus, and somewhere.
Bitches are celebrating Christmas in July. I'm celebrating Hanukkah in August. These hoes are gonna need an elevator to get on my level. My upload schedule is perfect. My upload schedule is perfect. My upload schedule is perfect. Anyways, welcome back to the channel. It's been a few months since I last uploaded a video. I was gaining entirely too many subscribers, and I just have to gatekeep. I can't go mainstream. I've seen what happens. I don't want to have a scandal.
Oh, but Mr. Pancake, what have you been doing when you were gone for the last 5 months?
I joined a Minecraft server, found this person's house, and then spent 7 hours moving it 6 blocks to the left to instill distrust in their knowledge of their surroundings and psychologically torment them. You know, like a normal person. And honestly, it's been so long since I've made a video, I don't even know what to post about anymore. What am I gonna do? Just sit here and talk for like 10 minutes about the crystal of misfortune that I got off Facebook Marketplace from that one witch in Camden, New Jersey? No. No, everybody does that. That's boring and overused. I need something new. I need something original. I need something trending. What's up, my best friend?
I don't like the way you said that. I'm scared.
Don't even worry about it. Maruka Shah, my friend.
Where did you find this?
Instagram Reels. I don't know what I logged into. Now it had 7 views. There was no comments besides mine.
You think this is a bank?
I think this is what Israel's doing with my tax dollars. Where does this go? It is a bank. Oh my god. Why is it actually a bank? Talon's gonna get canceled before I hit 1 million subs.
You gotta have a scandal before you hit 1 million and then you blow up.
This is the scandal. I'm making fun of Israel, Tal. They're gonna take me out. I don't stand a chance. When I first joined Koshercraft, I had no idea what I was loading into. I thought it was just a joke. Israel made a knockoff Hypixel? That's hilarious. But no. It turns out the server is more than meets the eye, with custom events, a Discord server, and even a surprising amount of minigames. You know, including everyone's favorites, Sky Wars, Bed Wars, Menorah, the classics. Except every time I try to load into the Menorah game lobby, it says there's an error with the server. How many errors could there be? It's not a big deal. I'm not mad about it. Guess I just have to wait for that to come to Hypixel. I'm sure it's in the works.
I didn't even want to play.
But anyways, we explored the lobby for a little while longer until we found out you actually need a certain level of kosher social credit in order to eat the food or open chests. A social credit that can only be earned by playing the server's minigames, and so we decided to load into the easiest game we could find, Skyblock. And unsurprisingly, Koshercraft Skyblock works the exact same as any other Skyblock. You spawn in on a tiny island with a chest full of resources after you buy that island with $1,000 of in-game currency that you can attain by, say it with me now, spinning your dreidel in the lobby, collecting haze and gimmels to earn your way up $5 and $10 at a time while avoiding those pesky shins so as not to have money removed from your account. Pretty basic Minecraft stuff here. There's also a creative game mode that's playable where every player is allotted a small plot of land to build whatever they want. In this world, paradise is but a concept brought forth by the labors of the willing. And so I immediately tried to spawn the Wither and then go to the end. But when that didn't work and I found out the dragon was already gone, I started working on how to blow up my neighbor's plot. But that didn't even work either because they turned off explosions. Somehow they had foreseen my plan. And so I just gave up on that game mode entirely, deciding to opt for something more familiar.
Where's this going?
What? When did you get here? Hell, he's not even on the server. Oh, don't worry, he's back. While I may have started playing minigames to build my social credit, it was once I loaded into the Bed Wars lobby that a realization hit me. Nobody really plays on this server, at least not that I know of, and they don't exactly have a leaderboard, so whoever wins is going down with the highest recorded win streak in all of Koshercraft Bed Wars. I'm not here to have fun. I'm here to set records. And I'm pretty sure I'm playing against the rabbi himself. This man has magic powers. Did you see that clip? That man has cartoon physics on. He is aura farming.
I want to talk about 3 Discord scams, and these are scams that target the most vulnerable of people. And I'm not talking about the elderly, I'm not talking about the single mothers, and I'm not even talking about the kids with cancer. I'm talking about the Discord gooners. The down bad, lonely men who exist on Discord who will do anything for a crumb of attention from what scientists call females. Now, as I go through these 3 scams, they get progressively worse and worse, and by the end of this video, you're going to have zero faith in humanity, satisfaction guaranteed, or your money back. So without further ado, let's get to the first scam, which I like to call the 1FT experience. And the 1FT experience starts off with an innocent message just like this. In Dadscord, a Discord e-girl server, so we're already off to a bad start, but I'm really sad. I need someone I can vent to. Somebody please message me, crying emoji. Now, this happened on Christmas, and it is a part of their scam because, okay, wait, this didn't happen on Christmas. Anyways, they said, I'm spending Christmas alone again. Can someone please private message me? Now, I don't give a fuck. I have a deep and dark soul with absolutely no empathy towards people, but I did decide to DM them because this is talking about a scam and I need to do my job. And I ended up getting ghosted. Now, that's nothing out of the ordinary for me, but I thought this scam was over. And now, I'm going to summarize the last year of my life. Because every time a viewer would send me the scam, I would try to go to the server that you get invited to and the invite would be expired. I have gone on Discord, I have stalked every single website talking about Discord to try and find this 1FT experience. I was losing my fucking mind. I wanted to know what this 1FT experience was. And somehow, out of like random luck, I saw a message from these scammers and someone replied to them and that person gave me an invite to the server. So, what's supposed to happen if you don't have a curse like me and constantly get ghosted by women is that you're supposed to get invited to a Discord server. Now, this isn't too out of the ordinary to be invited to the Discord server because, again, the whole point is this girl is lonely and you're just trying to be a nice person. She just needs some friends in her Discord server. So when I joined it, the first thing I saw was this About Me channel, so it felt a little personal, but I'm a 19-year-old girl from Italy. I love anime like Code Geass, and I'm a pro on Valorant, cause In addition to my love for anime and gaming, I cherish the simple things in life, including peaceful walks in Freddy's basement. Haha, JK. Well, I could see why they're lonely on Christmas, because holy shit. Now, thankfully, it caught my eye. I saw the 1FT channel. And when I visited the 1FT channel, all I saw were people spamming. I hope those are photoshopped. I saw people spamming 1FT. And it turns out this 1FT spamming is part of this channel here called the 1 Day Free Trial. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. This person alone on Christmas and depressed. You thought you were helping someone? No, because we're excited to offer you an exclusive opportunity to experience the warmth, affection, and joy of our e-girl community with our it's not even a one-day free trial, it's just a one free trial. For a day to remember, immerse yourself in the love and energy of our vibrant girls, where you'll receive all the attention you could possibly desire. Simply head over to the 1FT channel and type 1FT to kickstart your unforgettable journey. Considering there's a one-day free trial and a subscription channel, you have to pay money to talk to e-girls. What the f***? So these people are pretending to have a mental health crisis to bait you into joining an e-girl subscription server. Like, this is up. And there's two crazy things about this whole entire scam. It's the fact that if you search up "I'm feeling lonely, really" in like any e-girl server, you'll notice that there are tons of people and different accounts spamming the exact same message. We have a deleted user, we have Sophie, we have the person we've seen in the beginning, we have Jane, which I think is just replying to Rose, which is an alt account, and we have Elena. Now, it's not just on this one server. I have seen this exact same scam in multiple Discord e-girl servers. I have seen it in Discord black market or fraud servers. I have seen this in Discord e-gangster servers, and I've also seen this in Discord predator servers. These people go to any Discord server where there will be teenage boys that have hormones galore and the blood not flowing to the right head to try and get them with this scam. And the crazy part about this is that if I copy the person that we've been looking at, the original scammer, just in Dad's Cord, they have been doing this scam since July 15th, 2024. And that's just on this one account, in just this one server. There have been thousands of messages sent by this scammer. But the strangest thing about this whole thing is that if you have someone that's talking about a mental health crisis, and they and they invite you to a Discord server where you have to pay a subscription to talk to e-girls, how are you not like, they lied to me once, are they gonna lie to me again? Anyways, I typed 1FT in the 1FT channel, and believe it or not, boys, I did get a response. Okay, answer this. I'm not gonna do the girl voice because I already hate myself. But hello and congratulations on being selected for our one-day free subscription. We're excited to get to know you better. To join the review, English is horrible here, and experience this special offer, please answer the following questions. How old are you? I've seen someone say they are 17. They do not give a f if you are a teenager, a minor, or an adult. Money is money. What is your profession or occupation? Why do you feel you need this subscription, and where do you live? And how would you like a girl to treat you? And what are your expectations for this experience? I am cripplingly lonely. I said I do software engineering, aka I have a lot of money, and I need this subscription because I cannot create an AI girlfriend, and I'd just like to have someone around. I am literally the biggest green flag. I'm like, please scam me. But again, my family's generational curse. It doesn't matter if it's Discord, Tinder, or Grindr. I just keep getting ghosted. But fortunately for me, ladies and gentlemen, just like a mom who takes her kids to pageants, I can vicariously live through my viewers, because one of my viewers got contacted by Raven. It's the same f***ing scammers, because you can tell it's the same interview format. It's just a different server called Black Pearl E-Girls. But my viewer does the interview. They're 19. They're in France. They get told to add the person. So they add this e-girl, and then they get added to a group chat with 3 other e-girls. Welcome to the e-girl girlfriend experience. For 2 weeks, $15. You get the full texting, real connection, and a touch of romance. A lifetime subscription for $250. That's a deal. For unlimited attention, phone and video chats, and a spicy NSFW call. Turns out my viewer who was going through this is a girl, but that didn't stop them, because one of the e-girls sent a PayPal.me link to send money through PayPal, and they asked to send through friends and family, which means if you send the money, it's harder to get a refund. Now, just in case you were curious, I am censoring the link because I think they stole someone's PayPal account. I genuinely think they stole a PayPal account from a girl in the Philippines who got hacked. And everybody watching, please just take a moment of silence, because my viewer told me, and I quote, "The fact is, I buyed it, and no e-girl comes, and I got kicked out with the group chat." I can't do it. I can't. I don't know how people fall for this. Anyways, I think the worst part about this scam is not only the mental health crisis, but they have a text channel called Us with a photo of a woman. Now, I do this with every girl that I meet, all zero. I search the image with Google Lens, and Google Lens tells me that this is Erica Blonde. Who would have thunk it, boys? It's just an OnlyFans model. All the scammers did is just steal someone's OnlyFans photos, and people are like, I gotta pay for the e e-girl. Anyways, in terms of my CSI Miami investigation, I looked up this alt account on Google, which by the way, still hate it, but it sure is useful when we're looking at scammers. And you can see that this scammer, it turns out they're just all the e-girls. You can see Diabetes Asia Org. That's obviously a woman alt account. Another woman alt account. Julia loves pineapple. Something about making things taste sweeter or something, I wouldn't know. And then we have their main account, Little Nemo 423, which I searched up their messages in Mika Paradise, an e-girl server, and they said, and I quote, any e-girls interested in joining my OnlyFans agency trying to get 10K with a new girl by the end of the month. Who trying to cold call for me? I'll pay you $4,000 each client you bring. DM me for more info. I don't know if this dude watched Andrew Tate and made it his whole entire lifestyle, but this dude is a piece of shit. Now, ladies and gentlemen, take a sip of water because you're about to experience some existential thirst. Because in the case of the second scam, I genuinely lost my faith in humanity because I have no idea how dudes are this thirsty to fall for such a fucking stupid scam. Because a viewer of mine, you know, someone who, if you're watching my videos, you are probably more scam aware than most people. They reached out to me and they said, forgive me, for I have sinned. I fell for a Discord romance scam. And they sent me screenshots and holy this is bad. My viewer told me that they went on a Doki Doki Literature Club Discord server. If you know what that is, I'm sorry for your loss. But someone in the server said, yeah, someone Nitro please, I need Nitro, Discord Nitro. They instantly replied saying, are you an e-girl? Yes, e-girl, pray pray. I am a e-girl. And I don't know if they are a wizard casting a spell or something because they started DMing. Hey, Nitro, please, Nitro. And my viewer said, prove you're a girl. Now, I was fully prepared to start censoring things, having to act out 50 Shades of Grey, but fortunately instead I got destroy the child, corrupt them all. Yeah, this was the most fucking terrifying thing I've ever seen. I hate myself. Nitro is delivered. Thank you. No problem. Can you be my e-wife? If you want, hee. And they start sending each other gifts of, can I bite you? Flirting? Perchance. At this point, they have to be fucking with me because when I see dudes sending shit like this, I'm fucking cringing, bro. I like your music taste. Are we about to kiss? I gotta go. My phone is at 1. Good night. Good night, mommy. Sorry, I just chipped my tooth on my 9mm. Now, ladies and gentlemen, fortunately, there is a happy ending to this, and it doesn't involve that 9mm. It turns out my viewer told me, and I quote, when I woke up, they blocked me. Anyways, they contacted Discord support saying, I was on Discord when someone asked for Discord Nitro. They said they'd be my friend if I gave them the Nitro, so I did. We talked for a while, and then I fell asleep. When I woke up, I noticed that they don't even have Nitro anymore. If they won't use the Nitro I gifted, I want the gift back in my inventory so I can gift it to someone who will use it. I also think they scammed me because they said they'd be my friend if I give them Nitro, but now they're not responding to my messages. This might be a part of a more elaborate scam where people pretend to be e-girls, which also conveniently, only towards the end of the report, they talk about them being e-girls. Please help me get my Nitro gift back. Some Discord employee is staring at their fucking computer, reading this, and they send them like a copy and paste canned response talking about the gifting system, and my viewer strikes back, putting their whole, sincerely, their full name, saying, I need the gift back in my inventory because they claimed it and then somehow gave it to someone else, and they claimed to be a Discord e-girl in order to get me to send them the Nitro. It's definitely a part of a more elaborate scam that collects Discord Nitro gifts off of people pretending to want romance from the person sending the gift, so it's a classic romance scam, and I should get my gift back as a result. Thank you. And fortunately, Discord let them down easy. They said, hey, full name. Oh, I see. I can imagine how disheartening this situation is. Anyways, upon review of the transaction, it's no longer eligible for a refund. Effing chat, boys. Effing chat. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. The person, the viewer that sent this to me, they said they were like 16 or 15. And I don't know what this dude was expecting, but I hope they got like a good life lesson from this. But for this third and final scam, the next generation goon, it is truly going to be the downfall of not just gooners. This is going to paint the downfall of humanity itself. Because again, a viewer reached out to me, and this time they stumbled across this Reddit profile called Miss Peachy 23. Now, Miss Peachy Peachy23, ask some people if they could be your good girl. Yes, I can. And at this point, I'm really judging if my viewer just accidentally came across this Reddit account. But remember, I'm a Discord channel. And fortunately for me, ladies and gentlemen, I get to talk about this because they have a social link to their Discord server. And this Discord server is called Emma's Dream. And I just really wish someone would snap me out of this nightmare. But when I joined the Discord server, ladies and gentlemen, the first thing that I saw was this menu channel where just like in Subway, you can have it your own way because they have different channels like GFE, which is, and I quote, the Asian Girlfriend Experience, where for 2 weeks and $135, you can have an Asian girlfriend. $200 a month, $250 for 3 months. Yeah, can I get one of the men with the foot long? Apparently that's not an option, but there's stuff like content, which I can't even show any of this shit, man. You can have soapy play. I hate myself. Now, here's a problem. This by itself is not a scam. If I called this a scam, it'd be like me saying the hub is a scam, because I realize that the man and the two women in the video I'm watching genuinely don't love each other. If this is just an OnlyFans model, I can't call this a scam because you are paying for an adult service. However, this is a scam. And the reason why I'm saying that is because when I passed the welcome channel, if I go to the About Me channel, I noticed that they had an OnlyFans account. But when I went to their OnlyFans page, it's not available, which was the first red flag that told me I should look deeper into this. I say all that stuff as if I wasn't looking through the channels and seeing like this, which, by the way, my eyes are up here. Yeah, I'll censor that so this is not like a goon video, but this is in the verification channel. This is to verify that this is a real woman, and I just want to play the video.
Hello guys, I'm Emily, owner of Emma's Dreams. My username is emxo._.
Hello guys. Something seems a little bit off. Now, unfortunately I have to censor the ginormous cleavage that was on the screen, but if I removed it, you'd be like, oh, that doesn't look like normal cleavage if you look at cleavage before, because we're all dudes, we all know. But something felt a little bit off. Or maybe I just got carried away and started looking at previews because boys will be boys. They have a tail in their mouth! I wonder what I don't really know what to say, but I saw this GIF, and as I was looking at the thighs, I noticed this woman's got some crazy form of cancer, because this mole is migrating across her thigh. Now hold on a second, I hear you haters yelling in the comments already. No text-to-speech, you've never seen a woman in the flesh before. And you're goddamn right, I haven't. So that means I must dig further. I forgot, I just got jump scared by this. What was I saying again? Okay, anyways, I had to dig further, and I came across this preview, which I have to censor the emoji because I have to censor a lot, okay? Me in the future that's editing this, how are you feeling so far? Wonderful, I hope you're doing well. Is it too big, or I'm too small? Can't even stay stuck inside. And I'm just gonna cut to the image, and fortunately I actually get to crop it. I don't have to censor anything, yes! But then as I looked closer in the photo of this woman in the washing machine, I noticed something. This is a front-loading washing machine with one of those glass windows. And here's the thing, that big old glass porthole that shows your laundry, that's a door. You have to open the door. If you look at this image, which most people won't be looking at this image because editor me are gonna have to censor this. Most people are gonna be focused on the other parts of the image that I have censored. But if you just look a little bit closer, you'll notice that the door is not open on this washing machine. She is phasing through the glass door of the washing machine. This is AI. In fact, I got a ping on the Discord server to this screenshot of two women. Yes, because there's also a twin experience for some reason, because this person has two accounts, which are just their alt accounts, of course. And it's this photo of these two women who have pumpkins on their head. And you notice that these pumpkins are just, they're obviously AI generated. Like, this hole does not make sense. If you ever cut a pumpkin, you know that the pumpkin skin isn't this like weird behavior. And you might be thinking, no text to speech. That is a specific made pumpkin helmet. It's not. If this was actually like a mass produced pumpkin helmet for adults, they would be the same. You'll notice that the hole is in a different spot than this hole. This is clearly AI. This is an AI woman trying to sell you photos of her doing whatever you want because it's easy to just type into whatever they're using. Asian woman with ginormous features doing blank. No, hear me out, boys. I'm not talking about these two goth girls with a pumpkin hole helmet. But I'm someone that keeps tabs on the AI scene because ever since graphics cards became $1,500 dollars. I'm trying to figure out why the fuck that's the case, but they're saying that the end game of AI is artificial general intelligence, where ChatGPT will be as smart as a human and it won't tell me to eat glue. But tech CEOs, hear me out, because the end game for AI are AI goon machines. Javith, increase the perkiness by 33%. Yeah, Javith, make her bosom and her cheeks 999% bigger. Okay, I'm getting a little off the handle here. Let's get back on topic and talk about this scam. Now, we know that this is an AI woman, but how is this a scam? And the important context that you need is provided in this conversation here. Emily pinged everyone, and then Light Rage just said LOL out of nowhere. What's funny? How true the statement is. Everything looks AI. And the important thing that you need to understand is that in between this everyone ping and this LOL message, there was someone saying how this is all AI. And instead of Emily being, well, not Emily, the person behind this AI character, probably just a dude who looks at like adult content all day to make his AI woman, he is peak gooner, but instead of being transparent with people, instead they say stuff like, "It is afraid me for real. I think he was kidding, but some people really believe in this. Some people really believe that I'm not a real woman and that I'm AI." So what's going on here is that they are adamant that they are a real woman, and it makes sense. If you pretend you're a real woman, you're going to have more down bad dudes paying you money. And I just want to point out, that message was deleted because the person who called out this being AI got banned from the server. And somehow, they still believe that this is a real woman. And I mean, looking at these images, who in the is falling for this? This does not look like a real pumpkin. And the only way I could answer that with 100% certainty is by seeing if anyone sent them cryptocurrency, because you can track crypto transactions. So I had to do what I do best. Hi, gorgeous. I want to spoil you while you dominate. I want to I can't say that. What's your crypto address so I can treat my goddess? I'm not sure to adopt you. What address do you want? Bitcoin? They just sent me their Bitcoin address. I'll make sure you won't regret it. I'll talk to you later. I'm like, wait, hold on. You'll also give me your ETH address. They gave me their ETH address. I'm curious to see how much do I deserve. $0, but apparently to other people, if you look up the Bitcoin wallet, they have received $9,089 from dudes on the internet that cannot see that this is AI. I'm not fucking kidding you. Yesterday, as I was scripting this whole video, someone sent $482. Guys, come on. And the ETH wallet got $600. And this is just in cryptocurrency. Most people don't have cryptocurrency that they send to e-girls. Most dudes that are falling for this are people that cannot see that this is AI. They are tech illiterate. Those tech illiterate people are most likely going to be using Cash App or PayPal. So if crypto has $9,000, I can only assume that the Cash App and PayPal probably have tens of thousands of dollars. And I'm not kidding. When this photo was sent, someone said, "Well, yeehaw, thanks, girls. Now I want a goddamn pumpkin." Nah, I'm done. Video over. Please go outside, touch grass, and talk to a real woman. Please. Anyways, gamers, last time I talked about e-girls exploiting lonely men for their money, I got a whole bunch of death threats in my email from e-girls, so I'm gonna get them again, so I'll see you on the flip side. Bye-bye, I love you. Mwah. My viewers flooded my DMs with a bunch of Discord servers that show a lot of buff men and femboys without any clothes on. And initially, the servers look fine, but the deeper you go, the worse it gets. And we're gonna start off with a server that was found on Discord called Intercourseaholic. With a whopping 7.7 thousand members, this server is the best gay P server that you can find on Discord. That will be debatable. This should also be a good indicator of what we're talking about in this video. And what are you waiting for? Join today. But keep in mind, this is an 18+ server. So I did what any straight individual would do and join the server instantly, and the first channel I was introduced to was the roles channel. Now, you can pick your sexuality if you want any pings, and you can pick your age, and you can tell this is an 18+ server, yet there is an 18 and below role that 1,222 people have. Regardless, maybe there's some weird thing I need to check out in the rules. Welcome to Goonaholic, the ultimate server for engaging and enjoyable conversations. Sorry, I'm having a tough time reading with the GIF playing on the right. Explicit NSFW BDW content must be confined to designated channels. And if we take a look at their channels and scroll down quite a bit, you can see that there are a handful of different varieties of channels. Now, the thing I want to point out is the fact that these channels, if you hover over them, are age restricted. You can see with the little kind of warning sign there. This means that if you make your Discord account and you set it to be under 18 years old, you will not be able to access this channel. Unless, of course, you ignore the fact that there are plenty of ways around this. But the server, I'm going to be honest, starting off with a positive. Oh, but goody, there's still more rules to read. Prohibited content. The following are strictly prohibited and will result in an immediate ban. The dookie poo-poo type of stuff. You have raiding, you have the very bad no-no stuff, you have revenge P, you have the creeps that go on Discord, you have CSAM, which is exactly what this one is, and any content that violates laws. Yeah, this will be ironic a little bit later. You know, everything here makes sense except stealing server ideas. I can honestly smell the vitamin D deficiency in this server. These people do not go outside. Don't worry, there's a lot of D in these channels. Age restriction. In compliance with EU laws, individuals age 16 and above are welcome to chat and participate. Oh god. However, they are not permitted to use self-channels such as DMs, Face, or the new. However, they can access the content for viewing only. Now, to be honest, I don't even think this is actually allowed on Discord, but don't worry, because we still got more channels to go through. There's the privileges channel, and it was a privilege in life to not know about this server, but here we are. But the exclusive booster only channel is here. This exclusive channel contains daily NSFW drops and over 400 videos uploaded currently. Everything in the channel is contained in the video below, which I have censored, and I'm not even going to try to explain what's on my screen. Just imagine Subway, because it's a foot long. But in terms of booster perks, you get ban immunity. A little pro tip for the people at home, if you see a server that says ban immunity, I'd leave the server. Because if you're immune to bans, it means you can send whatever you want in the server. The degeneracy is incoming. Now, when I first joined this server, other than seeing the dongs that are on my screen, the second thing that I saw when I joined the general chat is a dude in a skull mask with glasses on. He has a Soviet flag in the background, and there's also the windmill flag from that one weird guy in that World War. So I was doing a little bit of investigation, trying to figure out who actually owns this server, so I could see, are they an old man? And it turns out someone ran the server info command for Carlbot, and let's excuse the fact that yes, this is the hard N-word, and I am using a Chrome extension to censor out any bad words. So without this Chrome extension, it'd be the PewDiePie bridge word. But as I was looking at this and I scrolled down, someone was banned for being trans. Now here's the thing with this server. I could spend a whole 15 minutes going through every single one of these chats and saying, oh my god, these guys are awful. But in reality, if I just search for the N-word, it's used all the time. Hard R. And this is coming from people that are admins, that are part of the server. This whole server is trying to be intentionally edgy, which there are a lot of Discord servers like that. But when it comes to keeping teenagers safe from creeps on Discord, it doesn't really paint a good picture. And there is a bit of a minor problem. That was a pun, by the way. And to introduce the problem, there are announcements where they host circles where people, you can read what's on the screen, but they do these events where people go on stage and they all join the stage call with their cameras on and you can read the word. Like this is all fine and dandy if you're all consenting adults. But as I continued looking through the server and each one of their channels, my opinion on that changed because there was a couple of young folks that were breaking the rules. Remember, if you're under 18, you can't use the DM request Face or Nunu channel. And to be fair, there are a lot of times where these people are getting warned or banned. This person was in DM request. They didn't put their age, and apparently they were underage. Now, thankfully, they actually did get banned off the server, but overall, the moderation seems pretty good. People are getting banned for being minors, which is good. That's what you're supposed to do. It'd also be ironic if these people were minors themselves, but it took me a whopping 30 seconds to find messages like this. DMs open for other minors looking for twinks or femboys. Jesus Christ. DMs open for older daddies who are attracted to... I'm not reading this. You can look at the screen and read it yourself. I'm not reading this. And then there's this dude who is most likely a creepy old man saying that they created a group chat of the new variety, and if you're interested in joining, you need to be between 14 and 17. You can add them on Snapchat. I genuinely do not know what the is going on with this generation. Now, by some modern day miracle, this person either got banned or left the server, but I can't say that for the other two people because plot twist, these people that are clearly minors that are asking for this type of content and putting themselves at risk are still in the server, just chilling, waiting to basically become a victim. Now, before I say Discord, blow this server up because it's a piece of garbage, these might just be two bad apples. And you know what? Maybe the owners of the Discord server are just incompetent, so I wanted to investigate the owner of the server as well as some other staff, like staff Stella and this person named Brad. Because I don't know if any of these people are either old men or maybe cliquey high school girls, or you know what, maybe this whole server is run by a single miserable piece of garbage that is pretending to be multiple people. Those people exist, by the way. So starting off with the founder of the Discord server, you can see that they're admin, so they don't actually own the server. And the reason they don't own the server is because they actually made the server, added a whole bunch of random Discord bots like Dino and Carlbot, then they added their alt account, which is now the owner of the server, as you can see, server owner. And the reason why they transferred ownership is so that if this Discord server gets blown up by Discord, then this alt account will be the only account that gets banned. Except that's not how it works, but whatever. So the owner, are they an old man, a cliquey high school girl, or a degenerate that never goes outside? Well, we can knock one of those answers off pretty quick because they made an announcement talking about how they will forever be the pink prince of this community. No idea what that means, but this whole announcement is them being excited that their messages got 4.7 thousand reactions.
Thank you guys for the 10 upvotes on Reddit.
Yeah, this reminds me of a high school popularity contest, but hey, I guess if you're a loser in high school and you see all those popular people acting like this, you imitate them. So we can cross these people being old men off the list. But are they like an internet degenerate, or are they cliquey high school girls? Well, to answer that question, we're taking a look at Brad. If you click on their profile, you can see that they have a heart sign next to the name Sylvette. Who is the owner of the server? If you click on Sylvette's profile, they have Brad in their profile.
My name, Satchel. I am you know. My name, Satchel. It was given.
Wow. These people seem to be e-dating, and as you can see by this message, I don't sell my body, I'm 16. Also, again, more racism, but that's just commonplace in this whole entire server. And considering how much these two talk to each other, they're either really good friends or they're e-dating, but if Brad is 16, then Mr. or Mrs. Sylvette is either a pedophile, or they're a cliquey high school girl that's a loser in real life. Now, I had to do what must be done. I needed to find more and more clues, and unfortunately, I stumbled across this very thought-provoking conversation where all three of the people that I'm focusing on, Brad, Sylvette, and Stella, say burn N-word and F-word and T-word and C-word and R-word, burn the C-racial term and the D-word and another racist term and another racist term and another one. Is racism the new trait that people are looking for in like someone's personality? You know, I'm looking for a man in finance, trust fund, 6'5", blue eyes, and hates them. And while this was happening, some person was in a voice call where someone pulled out what they got. They all joined and they said it's small. My faith in humanity is zero at this point. They're all joining a voice call where people are on video throwing their stuff out. And considering those other messages we saw from minors, I am greatly concerned about who these people are and what they're doing. And to figure out who they are, I went full-on investigation mode. I actually went into Google. But I looked into the owner Sylvette, who had an old Discord username of Sylvette Voidanova, and I went on Google, and there were a handful of results I could look through. Now, they had a link tree with Britney Spears, very girly pop type stuff here. Now, they have a link to their YouTube, their Instagram, their TikTok. When I went to their YouTube, again, it's the same username, and they're obsessed with Britney Spears for some reason. I can only see a 16-year-old thinking that way. But where I really found a break in the case is when I went to their TikTok, because it turns out they released this absolute heat video. Oh, what the f is going on? Let me just play the video. All right, so they got a music video from Lady Gaga, and then it goes into Roblox gameplay. What are kids these days doing, man? As you can tell, I'm a bit out of my element. I'm a bit too old for this but thankfully I was saved by the hashtags. Hashtag DaHood Barbie Crew. And that was my next lead, because it turns out, after Googling, there's a wiki page on the DaHood Roblox game where there's player categories, types of people that play the game, and there's an article about Barbie. I have never truly been this out of my element, but not to be confused with pick-me girls or baddies. Originally dubbed skinnies, rogue gangsters started referring to them as Barbies. I am sober, but I do not feel like it right now. It is important to exercise caution when communicating with these individuals. The reason why you need to be careful is because they may be sensitive to criticism or perceived slights. Provoking them, even inadvertently, may result in a heated response. Some individuals may exhibit a tendency towards anger, which may stem from various factors in their personal history, like absent father figure. But that's enough reading of this stupid blog post, because it's pretty clear that these people are intentionally edgy, which explains the 500 N-words from a handful of white high school girls. Anyways, digging back into the owner, I actually stumbled across this very weird Instagram garbage page, but Google showed this in the results because this person has a username on Instagram that matches their old username, but they also have the name AVRREZ. And I went back to the crazy tool of Google and I searched for this username. And after hours and hours or seconds of scrolling down, there's a Roblox Rollimons listing. And it turns out this shows the history of the specific Roblox item, and if I scroll down, we have this AVRREZ profile, which if I open it up and I visit their profile on Roblox, it has the name Sylvette, which specifically matches the name of the owner. I went to the Roblox page, clicked on who they're following. They're following someone called Rhinestone Bible, who again has this weird Roblox profile of some Barbie doll thing. I'm not going to have any kids in the future, that's for sure. But again, with this username, I did a little bit of a Google search and I stumbled across this TikTok page, Rhinestone Bible, and they have a Roblox profile with Brad Dior. And if I search for Brad Dior on Roblox, you can see that Rhinestone Bible's previous username was Brad Dior. Now, what does this have to do with anything that I just spoke about? Well, lucky little little me stumbled across a message from Brad Dior, showing off their Roblox profile of Rhinestone Bible. So just to paint the picture, these people go on Roblox, roleplay as Barbies on a hood Roblox game. That's a sentence I never thought I would say. And when they're not playing Roblox, they're running a gay adult content Discord server where they ask questions if their Roblox avatar is cute. So I ain't no rocket surgeon, but if I had to guess, this server is run by 16-year-old girls who are trying to be the popular girlies on Discord because no one talks to them in school. And for them to feel superior to others, they then made this server so that they could humiliate people and make fun of them by saying they have a small wiener or doing all the other parts of this server. Now, it should be pretty obvious, do not harass any of these people and do not join this server. Oh, and by the way, I ain't even done, boy, because as I was looking through this channel, and I hate myself, I stumbled across the owner advertising this other Discord server called XXX Exclusive. If I didn't want to gyrate from the ceiling already, this will make it worse. So I found the server on Discord, and there's a very buff guy with a shiesty on. He might be going skiing. That's a double entendre. But this server has 1.8 thousand people. It's dating, NSFW, gay, and it is 18 plus. Yeah, we'll see about that. Anyways, I joined the server, and surprise, surprise, gamers, the owner of the server is the admin of the other server. Now, the server is kind of the same. You have normal stuff, announcements, but then we have a DM request channel. In this channel, let's see how long it takes for me to find someone who is not old enough to be doing any of this. So this is the very bottom of the channel. It's been locked by the owner because they want to promote the other server that I looked at. But if we just scroll up a bit, I didn't even really need to scroll up. It was already on the screen. But we have this person here who is in the server still. They're 16, chubby bottom, and they're looking for a handsome top guy to talk as friends that might someday become more. I hate myself. I can be clingy. I do have trust issues, but DM if you want to talk some more. If this person isn't a creepy old man, they're going to become a victim. 15 male bottom with a... This is disgusting, man. It literally in this whole entire channel, it's just people who they're 17 DMs are open, 16 DMs are open. This just freely happens on Discord. 15 looking for, like, I don't know what the issue is with people, but let me be your absent father figure for a second. If you are a young person and you are under 18, do not go on any of these servers. You don't know if the person that's going to DM you to trade or cam is either a creepy pedophile, or maybe it's someone that's going to get your images and then extort you for money. And even if things go well, let's say you're talking to someone that is your age, sending and receiving any images like that is illegal. And the reason why I'm really upset is the fact that there's a new channel, and considering that this is unmoderated garbage, it is exactly the same with this channel, and I had to report a lot of messages, all because these 16-year-old Barbie girls, girly queen, think this is funny. It's disgusting. Taking a step back though, this is obviously a problem. Even if you have a server that's meant to be 18 plus, there are gonna be people that are younger than that trying to get in and talk to people. And people thought, instead of moderating this problem, let's turn it into a feature. Because I'm in this Hunks Discord server where they have two channels. They have two DM channels. And if I click on one of them, you can see that the only people that can access this channel are 18 plus. That's good. But there's a second DM's channel, and the people that can access it are below 18. That's good. You have the young people, the young people. You have the older people, the older people. Well, let's roleplay as Drake for a second. How do you get access to this below 18